right, there we go. All right, there we are. Okay. Well, you guys. Greetings. I'm so sorry for this low budget version of a reading, okay? But when someone like me gets determined, yeah, that's kind of how it goes. I'm out and about and I didn't want to have to go all the way back home and do the whole setup and or even get to the park. I was kind of like, I'm in my vein, and I was really upset about that little interaction. And you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and for true confessions, y'all know I likes to be candid. So that's how I roll. I believe that it's not enough of that in our world. It's not enough of candor. It's not enough of people, keeping it real. We come on, we're all polished all the time, and everybody's trying to show the best versions of themselves all the time. You know, um, I totally get it. But I believe that it is equally important to let people see your rawness. They need to see your rawness, your true self when you're undone. Not just your true self when you are, in your own, in your, not just that, but I believe people need to see every angle of who we are because it helps people to, first of all, kind of take the pressure off themselves, realizing that they are actually human. And none of us have it all together all the freaking time. Okay, that's just not real. I don't care how long you've been on the journey. I don't care what you've perfected. I don't care what insight. As long as we're carrying these human jackets around, I call it these human jackets. As long as we're carrying that, there's going to always be elements of that raw human experience. Which is equally beautiful to me. I'm just gonna be honest. I think it's beautiful. Um, so here's my true confession though, and I chuckled and laughed. As like I came to my car, I was like, oh my gosh, because I'm always so like, listen, you guys, people who know me, they know that Brandy's the diplomat. Brandy's the angel. Brandy's the one that's gonna always try to be like, oh, nice and it's kind of like my little personality. But what I've been noticing now that I've been doing all this energetic work, embracing, all of who I am, um, receiving all of that has empowered me to integrate and embrace my lioness, my lioness energy, where it's like there's this bold, in your face shit, where you say things and like people don't expect you to. And I almost like, oh, snaps, Brandy. Like you let them have it. Like you got up off the chair and you went over there and said, yeah, spoke your piece and wasn't going to walk out until I did and didn't care what they said, about it because how I felt some kind of way. you know, I did. I'm be honest. And then what I also want to share is I practiced as I got in the car. I practiced the very things that I tell you guys. So I don't come on here saying stuff that I don't do. Okay. Um. So I got in the car and I was like, don't run from it, Brandy. Sit with what you're feeling. Just sit with it. Don't try to make it go away. Yes, you want to take some breaths, but without judgment, sit with this. Ask yourself, why are you feeling this way? And then follow the thread. Allow the heart and allow it just to come up. And I heard my inner self say what it was that triggered me, what it was that made me feel like, you know, okay, enough is enough. Kind of like I'm telling everybody off, or I'm going to say something because I'm tired of not saying something. And that's what was going on. I felt picked on. I felt singled out. I felt Like, to be quite honest, I felt like it was a religious fuck that had a problem with what he saw and tried to use, some kind of a company policy angle to say, oh, we can't. That's what I really feel like it was, because I've done that before. I've sat in those chairs. I've watched. That's why I'm like, And as I went and talked to him and then the other guy, and I was like peeping their energy and peeping the fat guys. I'm sorry for saying that, but that's really how I felt. I'm trying to be honest with you guys. I'm like, no, you are a religious fat fuck that has a problem and you're hiding. And so what you're doing is, instead of just, owning within yourself what this really is about, you have a problem with who I am and you have a problem with what I'm doing. Otherwise, you would have never said nothing. I've seen people sit here. There was other people sitting there. On other days I've seen people. That's kind of how I knew. I'm like, no, don't give me the coronavirus shit. Don't give me no. You're trying to hide behind something. I'm going to say something. And I even told them how I've been in management and how I've, done this. And I was like, no, you know what? This is what's going on. Somebody's smelling themselves and trying to, what I'm saying, yada, yada. And I'm like, some stuff is not necessary. It's a judgment call. I've had jobs, I have positions, so don't come at me like that. It's a judgment call. This place is not even crowded. There's no lines here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is more than 6 feet away from each other. You guys are full of shit. You're a religious fuck that had a problem with who I am, because you didn't appear until you saw me take out my tarot cards. So, and as I peeped his energy and looked at some other songs, and yeah, I've been there. I used to be on that path, so I know what that's about, you know. But, you know, even when I was on that path, though, my little energy was different. It's like, it ain't my business to be going around trying to police the world. Like, oh, the tarot readers, I'm gonna stop. You're not gonna stop shit. So, yeah. And I wanted to share this as I felt like it was perfect because of what this reading is going to be about. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I get to practice something. I get to be raw and candid. I get to evaluate myself. I get to, feel into that. And then I also get to share it. I still got the victory. I did it without judgment. I looked at myself. I realized that, oh, so it was about me always feeling that way. And as where before, I used to just keep silent because I was conditioned to do that. I used to just keep silent and go, oh, okay, you know. But now I didn't care. I was like, it wasn't about me getting to sit there. It was about me voicing what the hell I wanted to say and calling them out on their shit. It was about me just standing in my truth and in my power and kind of like, could I have done it differently? Perhaps. But I don't regret it, actually. I don't. I wasn't disrespectful. What's funny is everything that I said it. I was still like super like stoic and professional with it, but I was cutting. Like, I was saying the shit I wanted to say. I wasn't trying to Mickey Mouse around it or anything. I was like, no, no. And you're not gonna get me to change? No, no. Because I didn't like the energy I felt that came towards me. I didn't like what I discerned. Um, and then on top of that, I was also being triggered, you know. Um, so I got through it. I got into the car. I sat with the feelings. I allowed myself to feel it, owned it. I was like, okay. Released the judgment of it, chuckled a little bit. Um, then after that, I did some Kundalini breathing exercises to recenter myself. And as you all can hear, I have some nice, relaxing dolphin meditation music playing in the background, because I'm like, okay, it's all right. You know, This is life. We can't, avoid everything, or everything is not gonna um, come out perfectly all the time. And I think we need to embrace that too, and also be okay with it. Should we grow? Yeah. Develop? Yeah. Change? Yeah. Be mindful? Yes. But you have to determine where you really are. Who is this? If somebody come over here, they listen to get told some things they don't want to be told on camera. Anyway, um, I love it. You have to assess who you are, though. See, in my case, I was the type of person who allowed myself to be silenced for a long time. And so what happens is when you start shifting and changing, you're probably being nudged by your higher self into speaking up because you've allowed yourself to be silenced. But if you are a person that you are flippant with your mouth and you're always saying, whatever the hell you want to say to whomever you want to say it, chances are your guidance is going to be the total opposite, because it's about developing something that we don't have strength in, that we're not normally operating in, if that makes sense. If you're fast and loose with going off on people all the time, you don't need to cultivate standing in your truth. You don't need to cultivate speaking your voice. You do it good and well to everybody. Okay? Your challenge is going to be shut the hell up. That's going to be a challenge because you're used to being able just to go blah 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 blah, right? Your growth experience is going to be doing something different, showing levels of restraint, whereas where before you couldn't, right? All right, so I hope that makes sense. Didn't plan on saying all that. So this spread, okay, as I was trying to say before we were so terribly interrupted, all right, is going to be about our character. Currently, I'm going to do a 3-card spread. I'm going to get a Kuan Yin overall theme card. Okay. Then I'm going to do a 3-card spread. The first position is going to deal with a past characteristic trait from the past of ours that we have successfully overcome. And I'm explaining to you guys why I'm doing this, okay? Um, a major characteristic trait, you can call it your shadow, you can call it immaturity, you can call it ego, whatever you want to call it, but a characteristic trait that in the recent past position we've overcome. The second column is going to be a current characteristic trait that our higher self is saying we're ready to deal with and that we need to overcome. Okay. Then the last column is going to be, what did I say for the last column? Oh, the last column is going to be, I just had it. Oh, there it is. Okay. How to get there. How to cultivate whatever that middle card is saying, okay? If I need clarifiers for any of the 3, I'll pull a clarifier for the 3, okay? And then I think that's all we have, okay? That's all we're going to do. So let's get our overall card with Kuan Yin, okay, to give us a theme about our character and, our energy and, where are we going and what are we in and what's the theme focus for us right now in terms of our character, right? All right, guys. I know I said a lot, but I feel like it's all good. It's all good. I love it. And you know what? Yes, this ain't a fancy schmancy spread. I may even do our archangels as well, some affirmations, because that's always supportive. We'll see how I'm led. Okay. Yeah, I know this ain't fancy schmancy, but you know what? I'm free like that right now. I'm free. I'm feeling free, y'all. I like, you know what? It's about content, baby, sometimes, and determination. Like, you know what? It ain't everything got to be perfect all the time. Sometimes we do too much. Sometimes that's too much. We're too focused on sometimes aesthetics and presentation. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I love that. I'm everything to do with beauty and ambiance and all of that. But sometimes the message is more important than trying to make sure that every lighting is right and every angle is right and setup is right and all that. Sometimes you can lose it by trying to perfect all of that, in my opinion. I'm just saying. All right. All right. Thank you, Kanye. Guide, source. We just ask for assistance from our higher selves to ground our energy, to release what no longer serves, to ground down through our feet and earth chakras, to center in our heart space, releasing what no longer serves. We ask for clearing in our aura field. We ask for assistance with being fully present. We ask for a clear and concise reading to assist us regarding our character. Kuan Yin, what is the theme for us regarding our character? What is the theme regarding our character development? This focuses on us and no one else. We're not externalizing. We're not looking at what was wrong with exes and family and friends and bosses and neighbors and competitors who want to be competitive when there's no need to be competitive. Um, yeah, we're just wanting to know about our character development. What is the theme for us? Please and thank you, beautiful Kuan Yin. Thank you for peace, stillness, clarity, strength. All right. All right. Here we go. What is the theme? Oh, hell. Okay. I didn't even get to get good and going here. Huh. 10. The Lotus Throne, card number 37. 10, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cycles, completions. Hmm. Sounds good so far. All right, you guys. So for Kuan Yin, we have, huh? Oh my gosh. Okay, let me stop. I'll tell you guys what's at the bottom of the deck in a minute because it's making me laugh because of what just happened. Okay, so we got as our theme from beautiful Kuan Yin. Take a nice look at her. We got the lotus throne. Ooh la la, right? She's holding a beautiful lotus flower, just sitting there all delicate like. So let's see what she has to say. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, we got sound the fierce flute. Injustice, I think that's what I was yelling at inside. Like, stop picking at people. Leave people the hell alone. Stop, mind your business. Shit. But yeah, that's the bottom of the deck. That's interesting. So let's go. All right, guys. All right. So the Lotus Throne, card number 37. And I'm gonna try to make this as brief as possible because again, sometimes here it be long. I'm like, is it a book? Okay. Card number 37. So funny. We got the tail the other day in 37, and that was 38. And now we went to 37. That's interesting. All right. So the same lotus wisdom that enlightens beloved Kuan Yin and all spiritual masters is the very same lotus light within your own heart, beloved. It can take great courage to trust your own inner light, to ascend the throne of your own inner spiritual authority, especially if the light of others around you seems more powerful than your own. You are being asked to trust this inner guidance above all others now. Have faith in your own heart and know that you are divine. There are times on the path that we can greatly benefit from assistance from others. In fact, these times are almost always. A true spiritual master, teacher, guru, guide, or healer has the same role to connect you with conscious awareness to your own inner light so that you may come to realize the spiritual power, authority, and beauty that you are in truth is the same spiritual power, authority, and beauty that you may see and honor in them. Sometimes we may need an external guide to help us make that connection. Sometimes we are closer to our own divine wisdom than we consciously realize. And yet we fall into a habit of believing that others may know more of what is good or true for us, oh God, than we do ourselves. Sometimes out of habit, oh gosh, this is good. Yes, yes, yes. Out of habit and conditioning, it is just easier to see the divine light in others than within our own heart. This oracle has come to you today to guide you to trust that your own inner teacher is growing stronger, that you have more spiritual wisdom than you may have previously acknowledged, and that you will benefit greatly from heeding your own heart's guidance, your own heart's guidance at this time. You're guided here to carefully discern the level, okay, of influences that others may be having over you. In your admirable willingness to be open, to learn, and to grow, you are wise not to surrender your discernment. No matter how wise or powerful a teacher might be, it is wiser and more powerful still to always test what they seek to say to you by sitting with it in your own heart. Does all guidance you have been following, okay, feel true? I'm sorry, feel true to your heart? At this time, the inner teacher, the guru within all, the goddess light of Kuan Yin in your own heart, is speaking to you, urging you to trust your own divine nature more deeply than ever before. You are being asked to ascend to the lotus throne of your own divine soul. Trust your courage, beloved. Your journey is taking you into spiritual maturity, and you will need to acknowledge that you have spiritual authority within your own heart. Yes, you can learn from others, but always honor your inner teacher, beloved, as this is your own unconditionally loving and flawless guide. The part of you that is pure, divine wisdom always has been and always will be. Wow. And here is the prayer transmission. You burn bright in my heart, guiding me eternally, divine lotus of light. My very own heart, I ascend to the lotus throne within you, my power, my wisdom, my love and light acknowledged. All is well within my own soul. By Bunyan's grace and my own divine fire, I trust and empower myself spiritually now more than ever. Om Mani Padme Hum. Yes, yes, Lord have mercy. So that's the theme right there. So we are growing, oddly enough, that this reading is centered upon character development, and we get a character card that's saying we have grown into spiritual authority. And it's time to trust that inner voice over the voice of others, no matter how powerful they are. That's some deep shit. I'm just saying. I'm like, ooh, that's heavyweight. That's saying that we must have passed certain tests to get there, and even for this card to show up energetically. Okay. Wow. Okay. So let's go to the sound, the fierce flute. Okay. Let's do that real quick. Maybe I'll just skip through that part. All right. So we have, hold the telephone, you guys. Okay. We have, there it is. All right. Discernment. See, look at this. Here we go again. Now that's two discernment cards. Discernment empowers you to make choices that are aligned with your spiritual intentions. Like a fierce sounding flute cutting through all vibrations. I love this. With purity and intent, your discernment allows you to stay true to your values and spiritual destiny without getting caught up in distraction. If you wish to grow spiritually through love, joy, peace, and abundance, then discerning between higher and lower vibrational choices is helpful. Now this is good. Yeah, this right here. I perhaps didn't discern all that well in this case. I mean, I discerned the situation with the folks, but I didn't so much as discern like, oh, should I do this? Should I not do this? Do I have looky loos on? I didn't, but I did get through it, and I discerned my deeper truth, which is my voice and my truth, and saying how I feel and what I want to say, which is a major hurdle for me. So in essence, I still did. Um, okay, now here we go. It is wise to be accepting. I wasn't accepting here. I'm sorry. Okay, it is wise to be accepting of all of life and not to judge people. I did, and I laughed, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm sorry." When I got in my car, but see, I acknowledged it. I dealt with it. I sat with it. And didn't run. I didn't run from myself. I didn't run from it at all. Um, or situations as good or bad. Okay. It says some are more pleasant than others. Oh gosh, yes. And yet, sometimes a challenge, see, here it goes. See, this is where I'm going. A challenge can turn out to bring us great growth opportunity. I just said that, which in turn becomes a blessing. See, this is where I was going. However, this does not mean that we are wise to abandon the power of choice. Of course not. We can use our discernment to be guided on our path to the most joyful and uplifting and helpful experiences for our own growth. Okay. Discernment is not judgment. It does not render some things better or worse than others. Yeah, I understand that. It is the power of selection based on desire or intention. Correct. Yep, absolutely. If we intend to grow through joy and adventure rather than fear or suffering, oh, this is good. I'm taking this home for me. Then we can use our own discernment to make choices, right, that feels expansive and uplifting rather than constrictive or draining. And I can certainly swallow that from my experience. Like, okay, yeah, in the long haul, okay, maybe I can, deal with something like that a little differently. But I got me another good lesson out of it in another way, so I'm still happy about it. I spoke my truth. Discernment is necessary in all realms of life, from the physical to the spiritual, from the sort of lifestyle we choose to lead, yes, indeed, to the people we choose to spend time with, or the ways that we spend most of our time, even the kinds of spiritual energies that we invoke. Discerning choices helps us craft our reality. Okay. A wise use of discernment helps us be truthful. Yes. Be truthful, clear, accurate in our perception, like the fierce flute cutting through all vibrations. Discernment shatters illusions. Oh, good God, yes. Yes, that's what I did. I'm just playing. And gets to the truth, but it does get to the truth of a matter right to its essence. With truth, with truth, there are no nasty surprises later on. Or if there are, we can deal with them swiftly and use them for growth with minimum suffering. That's what I'm talking about. We can ascertain what is real and what is false. This inner knowing informs our choices so that we seek out those who, this is good, seek out those people, places, opportunities, and experiences that feel aligned with love. Then our life path becomes one of greater joy and well being. Your discerning powers are growing, and you are capable of greatest discernment when you listen to your heart and are able to let go of fear and shame, which can cloud your perception. This oracle has come to you because you are in need of seeing a situation in your life from your heart, heart, heart. I'm gonna say that again. Heart, 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 rather than from appearances. Oh, this is deep. Don't be afraid to trust your own vision, beloved. It will help you live your truths and take good care of your own soul. Lord have mercy. Okay, let's get the transmission on this here. Dearest Kuan Yin, who sees from the highest perspective and knows the truths in all situations, please help me discern the best possible choices that are available to me. Bless me with the awareness I need to make choices that support my deepest desires this lifetime. May my spiritual intentions be blessed and manifest. Help me see beyond illusion, beloved, into the deeper truth of matters. Sound your flute so fierce with love and compassion and clarity now. Om Mani Padme Hum. There's our transmission. Ooh, this is Kuan Yin is kind of heavyweight, man, to be such a delicate looking goddess, you know. She's kind of heavyweight. She's got some deep soul. Um, all right, so we got our oracle themes. I'm gonna hold these two out. You guys bear with me, whoever actually comes on the stage. I wonder who's on right now. Whoever's on and ain't saying nothing. Who this? I'll just put who that be? Don't mind me. I'm just clowning. It's all good. All right, so I'm gonna keep those aside and let's get into the spread that I mentioned. Okay. All right. What is a characteristic trait that we have developed or overcome in the most recent past? That's the first card. Characteristic trait. Thank you. Characteristic trait that we have developed or overcome in the recent past position. And I'm doing this because in psychology, which I studied in college and in business even, they teach you anytime you're going to deal with character issues or traits or things that may need some attention and focus, you want to sandwich it. You want to first present something that someone is they're good at, that they have developed, because it's going to give them the hope and the motivation that they can overcome or develop whatever that issue is that you're presenting. It doesn't feel good when somebody just come out to the left field with a whole lot of shit to tell you you were doing wrong. And you need to fix, and they ain't even recognize one good thing about you. You know what I mean? It just doesn't feel good, right? And it doesn't give you drive or hope or motivation to believe that you can, you know? So that's my reasoning behind that kind of a spread. We need to see what we've overcome. We need to see what character traits we've been able to cultivate and grow. Or, you know what I mean? We need to see that. We need to hear it in the recent past, not back when we was 20. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what your age is, you know what I mean? The recent past. All right. Please and thank you, angels and guides. Help us out here. Benevolent energy, peace. Good vibration. Good vibration. One more. I'm gonna get a nice shuffle. There. All right. Recent past. What's a characteristic trait that we have been able to develop and overcome in our most recent past? Characteristic trait that we've been able to develop and overcome. Please and thank you. Characteristic trait that we have been able to develop or overcome in recent past. The characteristic trait that we have been able to develop or overcome in recent. There we go. I see this a lot. Okay. We have the, this is the Page of Cups. All right. Page of Cups. I'll read into it to you as well. So give me, oh, and I see the Tower. Okay. And I see the Seven of Cups. Okay. I think I'm already knowing, but I'm going to just wait for it. I'm going to get a clarifier. Already knowing. Remember, this reading is going to be focused on us and not no one outside of us. That's the point of this. This is taking back our power. This is owning our life and owning, our responsibility to our own behavior, our own choices, and to what we co-create instead of displacing blame on others. Looking at our stuff, looking at, our issues rather than always looking at somebody else's. Okay. Good shuffle, but yep, okay. Mm-hmm. I think I know where this is going. Wait for it though. Okay. All right. Can we clarify this Page of Cups, please, as a characteristic trait that we have developed and overcome? Can we clarify this Page of Cups? Please and thank you. Clarify the Page of Cups. Clarify Page of Cups, please and thank you. Can we clarify that? There it is. Huh. Major Arcana on the board. All right, so we got Page of Cups and the Chariot, clarified by the Chariot. Oh, okay. I get it. Okay. All right. So we got the Page, I'm sorry. The Page of Cups, clarified by the Chariot as recent past characteristic trait that we have developed and or overcome recent past. Okay. What I'm getting from this is that a lot of you have developed and or overcome immature emotion. Page of Cups, I mean, that's usually about messages, but it's of emotion, but it's also about young at heart and in terms of development and maturity. And then the reason why I say that is because the Chariot clarified it. So in the past, recent past, your emotions were racing and not controlled by you. They were controlled by the Chariot. They were racing. They were, they went with the wind, kind of like, whatever happened, and that could be, you have to take this as a resonates because it's a general read. It can apply to any area, but it's something to do with the emotional body. in the recent past, you've overcome being controlled by your emotions. Oh, this is good, you guys. This is good development. You've overcome being led only by immature emotion, baby stage emotion, or a lack of emotional intelligence, where you let it just control you and dictate whether it was good, bad, up or down, left, right. It was all over the place. Chariot is all, it was fast movement, movement, movement everywhere, 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 everywhere. Right? So recently you have gotten a hold. You've looked at yourself without blaming, without saying, oh, my emotions are only this way because they did that and they did this and they did that and they did this. And if they wouldn't have done that, then I wouldn't be this. And they did. So it's saying that you've overcome that because you've taken the time to go within and see what was being triggered in you. Some of you realize that it was because you failed to acknowledge your own emotions and your own feelings for so very long that that was the reason why they were going chaotic. That was the reason why they were going at lightning speed. That was the reason why you were being pulled all over in which way direction, because you were not taking the time to validate yourself and how you felt. Not only that, some of you realize that you are not balanced in the sense of that it's okay to have emotion and to be, a person of feelings and all these things, but you need to include discernment and wisdom. You need to also be grounded. You also need to deal with reality in conjunction with emotion so that it's stabilized and not frantic and fast moving every which way the wind and the horses go, right? So that's awesome. That's a you know that's a victory, you guys. Listen, it's no small feat. Believe me, this is no small feat, because when we're in the throes of things, it's hard. It is really hard to kind of like pull in the reins before we go jump off of a cliff. You know what I'm trying to say? Before we go make a catastrophic, you know what I'm saying? um, that takes that's development. That means you looked at your shadow, you looked at your inner child, you did it lovingly, and you allowed yourself to cry, you allowed yourself to observe yourself, you allowed yourself to just sit with that, like, dang, damn, I'm just letting my emotions run the show. Shit, I'm over here, I'm over there, and all this proof is right here telling me go left, just like the movie, the scary movie, the first one. And scary movie home shit was dumb as hell. But I'm just, listen, I'm being funny, so please don't get offended by some of my jokes, okay? But if you saw scary movie back in the days, the very beginning, all the signs. They told her to go to the left. It said live, go to the left, die, go to the right. And she was just in the throes of her emotion. Home she went to the side where it says die, like death. And then another situation happened. They had all the weapons for her to choose from so she can kill this killer guy. And then it had a banana there. She chooses the banana. You know what I'm saying? And I equate that to when we have lived in a state of just being very whimsical with our emotion all the time and not very grounded, or abrasive, because it can go each way. You can be too abrasive where you're going around and you're just evil and mean to people, because your emotions are stagnated or buried, or you're not acknowledging some deep rooted things, and you're taking it out on people, because you're not processing or sitting with it, validating your own emotion. When we validate, it allows it to move, because it's all energy and frequency moving throughout the bodies, all levels of our being. And when we keep trying to resist and go, shh, 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 we keep trying to, and for a while it seems like it works, but oftentimes we get in seasons where it's like it's causing us to be reactive and do things and say things in a certain way because it's something we're not looking at, and we're just now projecting it onto situations or people. So I hope that made sense, and I hope you guys got a laugh out my scary movie joke. But I mean, she was being emotional. Oh my gosh. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna say what I see right now. Lord help me, please help me. Um, she was, being emotional and frantic. She was in fight or flight, right? And instead of looking, thinking her mind and calming down a little bit, it's like, lady, the instructions are right here. It says if you want to live, go this way. You go that way. Here are your weapons. You can use any of these, but don't choose the banana. Okay, banana is for food. Okay, it's just like I love it. Anyway, let me keep moving. Okay, because I'm clowning now. All right. So there you go, Ace Go. I'm proud of you all. That is no small feat. All right. Yep, two of wands at the bottom. So you were constantly dealing with being of two minds in the past, and this is, to me, this also represents, it represents a lot, but in this context, you got the moon here, and it represents indecision. And that's emotional as well on some level because you're allowing emotion, whether it's something you're mad about, something you're afraid of, something, that hurts your feelings, you're allowing that to cause you to be indecisive in what you want to do. Which one do I choose? Which one do I choose? And growing and developing in this area that we have in the past, right? That means now we know how to do a couple things. We know how to ground and center. We know how to tap into the heart and tap into intuition and apply the mind to make a clear choice, one or the other, right? And it's grounded. It ain't whimsical because emotions are flighty. And this is why people often live in this land for a long time. Because today you feel one way, tomorrow you feel something different. You love this person today and you think they're the cat's meow, and tomorrow, because they didn't comb their hair the way you want them to comb it, or they didn't kiss your ass, or you know what I'm saying, now you don't want them. Now you want the other one. Then you go to the other one and you think you love them, and now you find out that they fart and scratch too much and they don't rock your boat. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like then and then and then and then. And it's like, yeah, see, emotion and a little bit too much mental energy in that case versus heart, getting grounded in heart, intuition, and discernment conjunction with clear thinking, making a choice, right? That's what you overcame. That was the past. So now you know how to be balanced. Now you know how to make a choice and trust your choice and understanding that in essence, neither of these ones are going to be perfect. There is no such thing. Perfection is illusion. That's why intuition is very important. Okay, tapping into our higher selves. Okay, but let me keep going. All right, here we go. So, in the current energy, what is a characteristic trait or characteristic trait or issue from within that we need to overcome, that we need to further develop? Current position, present position, what is a characteristic trait, issue that the higher self is telling us that we are ready to look and overcome and need to all snaps. Okay. All right, here we go, y'all. Five of Pentacles. I'm gonna get a clarifier, but that already means like there's a conflict and struggle and lack mentality, lack, poverty, financial, it can be financial situation, it can be financial mindset. Okay. Not only just a situation, a financial mindset, your view of finances, your view of money, your view of poverty, your view of abundance, your beliefs about it. That's in the current position. But let's get a clarifier. At the bottom of the deck, we got 3 of Pentacles. Interesting. See, I already know. I already know, but I'm going to get the clarifier. Bottom of the deck, 3 of Pentacles. Current position. And it can be related to financial. And I said financial because of the pentacle, but what's coming to mind is also Pentacles is representative of the earth realm. It's the representative of manifestation, of things that we want to materialize. So it can be lack mentality of anything. It can be victim mentality. We may need to overcome victim mentality. Look at her. She's hurt. Yeah, they did some shit. It's keeping it 100. He know it too. Now you feeling some kind of way. But she, because this theme is about us, remember, it ain't about these two. Nothing to do with them. It's about her. What does she look like right here? And see, this is the current position of a characteristic trait or issue that our higher self is saying we're ready to deal with and that needs our attention. And to me, that's, the feeling of being victimized. Because we got the 5 of Pentacles and then the 3 of Pentacles down here. Lack of victory. It would be, strength and fast movement, overcoming, and all of that. And so, but the lack of it, 5 and 3, lack of it, feeling victimized, feeling helpless, feeling, unable to face shit, because that's basically she's looking away because she's hurt, she's mad, pissed, and she don't want to look at mofos, right? But that's like a victim and helpless. Like, I'm victimized and helpless. She ain't helpless though. You know why she ain't helpless? First of all, she ain't in jail, and she ain't dead, and I don't see no blood, and I don't see nothing, right? So in other words, she can stand up. She can stand up with pain and all. She can stand up and go, all right, this shit happened. I am a victim though. Not a victim. These were you guys' choices and your valid choices. You have a right for your choices. I don't have to like it. I'm not a victim though. I will not lay here getting the hell up, right? So it's saying that in the current energy is, it can be about money. So take this as a resonate, or anything that you feel like a lack mentality, lack of love, lack of being able to manifest the kind of love that you want, feeling always victimized by crazy shit, a mind. Well, I gotta hear up because my battery's going low. Thank God. So yeah, let me keep it pushing. That's at the bottom. Okay, let me get a clarifier. Since the battery's going dead, I gotta try to keep it moving, guys. Can we get a clarifier for that 5 of Pentacles, please, in the current position of characteristic trait? We need to. Oh, okay. Shit. The world. And it's in reverse. Not that the world could really be, but what I take that as, okay, clarified by the world. 5 of Pentacles, clarified by the world in reverse, because that's how it felt. But yeah. So some of you feeling like You lack what it takes to embark in the world, to harness and create your world, to be able to move forward in life in this world on the earth. All elements are represented in the world card. Um, that lack and victimized or helpless feeling and belief, even, right, is the current position of what needs to be overcome. The belief that you lack, the belief that you can't hone in and manifest and create your world the way you want it. Okay, it's a belief, it's a conditioning, it's a pattern, it's a habit, it's what we become accustomed to. Lack, poverty, fear of unknown, fear of the world, fear of the world. Some of you even fear of success. Okay, some of you even fear of success.